Yeah, welcome. So this is what a working template looks like. So you can see updated survey templates to have. Now the first name will be the name of the person you are using for the survey, as it is on their document, and their last name. That's all. Leave middle name out of it. Then the UK phone number. If you are using their phone number, you put it there. If you are using your own phone number, you put it there as well. You are not sending this template to anybody. It's just like a guide for you, so that any because now in surveys generally there are no wrong or right answers, but your answers must be consistent. You cannot be telling them your name is John today and be telling them your name is Henry tomorrow. You cannot be telling them you are 50 years today and tomorrow you are telling them you are 32 years. They would flag that account because your account is showing inconsistency. But you can tell them you like smoking. Yes, they don't, they short. It's none of their business. You can, but any answer you are giving them, you must make sure it is consistent. So that's the whole concept of the template, to act as a guide. At times you may have said something, and this template contains questions that usually come repetitively. Your first name and your last name may not come repetitively, but every other thing here comes repetitively. They would always ask you for your postcode, your address, your city, your region, and all of that. So the template will be like a guide. Let's say you see a question asking you for your postcode and you've not memorized it on your head. You can easily go back to your WhatsApp or wherever you store this template now. So you will edit it and fill it now. So let me just do a run through for the zip code. For those in USA, you are not using zip code, you are using postal code. For the address, at times they may ask you that. You can easily type it based on the address you generated from the Google postal website. Then your region, I've told you confirm the region. Also, I showed you how to confirm your region. Then your ethnicity, you tell them if you are black or you are white. Then your country is the same thing as region. They would hardly ask you for your password, so ignore that. Your date of birth, very important. Now your date of birth, this is the way they would ask you for your date of birth. And if they ask you of your age, you will tell them your age as of your last birthday. Let's say you were born in 1980, or the person you are using their template for was born in 1980. Let's say the person was born April 1980. We know by next month the person would be 45 years of age. Yes, that's, I'm doing this video in 2025 now. By April next month, we are in March now. By April the person should be, but if they ask you the age, so long the person has not clocked that particular age, then you write 44 years of age. But if the person was born February 1980, or the person was born March 1980, then you write the age to be 45 years. But if the person has not clocked that particular age, even if it's just a month remaining, so long we've not entered that new month, then you write the age as of the last birth day. Then occupational status, you tell them the business or the job the person is doing. Organizational sector, they will ask you if the person is in the IT industry, manufacturing, but don't choose manufacturing. Don't choose anything that has to do with media, publicity, and all of that. You can choose web development, you can choose health, you can choose artisans and all of that, but don't choose. You can choose medicine and this thing, but don't choose anything that has to do with sector, or any sector that has to do with media, like the person is working as a journalist, media house, a researcher, a survey analyst, and all of that. They would always disqualify you because they believe you have an in-house member of your family who is working in their own organization, so they don't want that unfair advantage, so they will just tell you, sorry, you do not qualify for this survey. So choose every other thing aside from that, this particular field I mentioned. Though I will still drop a screenshot to see those field you should not choose as your business sector. Then home address, organization postcode, you can leave that, they hardly ask. Then the email, now the email with which you used in creating the account, that's the email. At times they ask for that. Then talking about your children now, I always, and it will take me back to the age, I always at least mention you have at least 3 children. Let one of your child fall within that toddler age, such that any survey that has to do with things that pertains to toddler, you can qualify for that survey. Not that they will tell your toddler to come and answer those questions, but they know that, okay, you are eligible. Because let's assume now, if the survey is a survey now that has to do with pampers, and you are telling them your youngest child is 8 years old, an 8-year-old child is not expected to be using pampers. So the next thing, once you just indicate the age of your youngest child, they will just tell you, they most likely will tell you, sorry, you do not qualify for this survey, or you are not a match. Why? Because your demograph now, or the demograph of your children now, doesn't fit into that survey. You are not their potential customer. So I usually recommend you have a child that is between 6 months to 2 years of age. So surveys that has to do with children or people around that age group, you can easily fit in. They know, okay, this person has a child of that age range, is of interest to us. Then your next child should be between 4 to 9 years of age. Then the oldest child, if you are using 3 children, the oldest child should be at least a teenager, at least 13, 14 years of age, so that for surveys that are in that category also you can qualify. This, once you set up your templates like this now, it will give you an ample of room to qualify for much surveys. So I guess that is clear enough. So you feel that, you feel the amount. Now, these things doesn't have to be the correct date of birth or this thing. You can just come up with something that can, but it must be reasonable. Now, you cannot, if they ask you initially, remember you have already indicated your age, because this data you are giving them also, they analyze it. So you don't go and give them a data that is not reasonable. You cannot tell them you are 25 years of age now, and you are saying your first child is 14 years of age. It doesn't make sense. It means you gave birth to that child when you were 11 years of age. That most likely will raise suspicion or raise a red flag, like something is wrong somewhere. So if you are putting a child to be 14 years of age, it means your age should be at least 34. Now, once the person that is helping you doing the verification is doing the verification, they are not asking the age. All they just want to be sure is that this person is a resident of that country. So don't worry that, okay, what if the age doesn't tally with the age of the person's document? It doesn't matter. But if you want to use the age like that, then if you want to use the person's original age, make sure once you are creating the profile for the number of children, because these questions, most of these questions that are on this template now, they will be in your profile setup. It will be the first questions they would ask you in the survey. They will give you 50 points for it. So you would have set up your profile, the number of children, the number of, if you are a tenant or homeowner, and all of that. Then household annual income before tax, I usually recommend you put between 70,000 and above, 70 to 120,000. Don't put anything less than 70,000. Then household annual income after tax. Now, on the average, people in the UK, they pay between 25% to 40%. So anything you are putting as your household annual income before tax, just deduct between 25 to 40% from it. It will give you household annual income after tax. For example, now if you are putting anything within the range of 80,000, let's say you are using 100,000 as your household annual income before tax, then your household annual income after tax should be between 60 to 75,000. That's after the tax of 25 to 40% has been deducted, you should be left with that. So that's just how to go about it. Then organization, employee, all locations, like how many workers are in your organization all over the branches you have all around. You can just put 500. Then organization, employee, that's in the location in which you are, you can put between 100 to 250. Then they would ask you the position of the chief income earner in your household. Always put managerial or intermediate managerial or higher managerial. Just put them in the managerial level. Then travel purposes, they would ask you why you're traveling and all of that. You would always state business or leisure. Most time I usually go for leisure. For business, I mean to say. So mobile network, banks, these ones you can easily do your search on Google to know the banks you have there. The mobile network, we have PlusNet, we have Tesco, we have Vodafone, Sky Network, and all of that. So you just do simple Google search and check the ones that fit into your kind of facing, and you can just always state them there. Then the bank, we have the Halifax, HSBC, Santander, Revolut. So then for your restaurant, you can easily do simple Google search to check Google restaurants in the UK. Then always indicate you are a car owner, at least one. So for surveys that fall within for car owners category, you can qualify for those survey. Then they would ask you the model and the year. Then your company position, you can just tell them you are a manager in the company. Then company annual revenue, you state between £50 million and above. Investable assets, tell them you have investable assets. At least just indicate £50,000 and above. So that will be all. I think we've really spent time here. So that will be all for now on the working template. But before you start taking your survey, you're expected to have a working template, save it in one of your folders or in your WhatsApp, in a place where you can easily make reference to it. That's just the whole idea of the working template. You can always go back and make reference to it. Over time, after much repetitive and answering those questions over and over and again, most of those things will stick to your head. But for a beginner, make sure you have a working template. Ensure that's one of the first things our admin on the group would ask you to create. And if there is need for any correction, the admin would let you know and help you or guide you on the working template. Thank you. See you in the next class.